criminal law at law school for 5 years. But I always knew that wasn't my place. I knew that there was something really off because my students, when I would tell them, okay, let's now be in silence and breathe, and in the middle of a criminal law class, they would all laugh and think where this person comes from. So as surely as it could be, I end up going through some real pain to have this transition done, because when we resist too much to what we are meant to be, the transition is a little bit rough on us. But I'm here now, and thank God that I'm now walking my path. So I'm happy to be here, and I forgot what you told me to what you asked me. It was just to introduce myself, right? And
yeah, no, we just wanted, because it's you have an unusual combination of skills and
yes.
practices that you use. So we would love to hear, and briefly what you do. And now?
Well, when I practice, I was into yoga since I was 19. So it's been almost 30 years now. And I've been from 19 to 30, 34 years old. I was in and out yoga classes, and I was meditating just whenever I felt like. And I couldn't really do the work because, I was on denial of what I was. I thought I was this tough lady, and I wanted to be a judge. So my mom would always say, I don't think you belong there, because if people yell at you, you're gonna cry and you're gonna embarrass yourself. So it was a long way to decide that I really needed to go on my path. So when my first kid were born, he's 14 now, I started to really understand that that person wasn't me, and that I would be much better off if I was doing whatever I need to do. So I started to work with my mediumship. I first had to assume that I was like that, because some people are born with the Wi-Fi signal opened. When you walked into some place and the Wi-Fi is free. So mediums have a free Wi-Fi to whoever wants to connect with them, and that's not a very pleasant situation to be in. And it is necessary to have a lot of work to deal with that. So I finally did that when my kid was born. My first kid was born, and it's been 14 years now since I've been working and with the mediumship, and then with more I started to do a deeper work with yoga and meditation, and then with informational healing. So I could be speaking, I could be talking about this for hours, and I don't want to bore
no, but it's always interesting to hear these the paths, because I think a lot of people might feel that they're not on the right path, and that they want to shift. So sometimes it's really interesting to hear. I went through the similar situation where my body just started kind of giving me the signals in a very unpleasant way, telling me that this, what I was doing isn't right. But I think
for those who are in the same path, for those who think they're not doing whatever they ought to be doing, I just want to tell you, just be brave to be who you are, because that's the most liberating, and that's the most freedom we can have. It's just being whoever we are. And as you know, sometimes it's just hard to accept that, because especially us who are too different, too weird, too, you know, like a unicorn running around. So,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Whenever you accept it, everything falls into place, and then your life starts to go well and to work.
Yeah, because I think if we look around the world and see all the things that are not working, we can say, you know, at least I have a clear conviction that maybe it's because people are not doing what they really feel aligned to do or feel they're calling to be doing. Because, you know, if everyone was doing things that were aligned with their heart, we wouldn't be where we are now. I think you would
I
agree with
totally,
me.
I totally agree with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
But tell us a little bit more about this informational healing. It's, you know, you told me a little bit in our conversation, but I would love to share it with people. It's something probably few people are aware of that exists. And this whole idea that we come from information, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay. Yes. And if you have any question, can they ask question? Yes.
Yeah, of course. But wait,
That
there's a chat, or you can just unmute
okay.
yourself. But yeah, we'll have a
Okay.
section at the end of the webinar where people can ask more. You know.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So this is we have to break a paradigm here. Um, the smallest thing ever, it's not an electron, it's not an atom, it's not the quarks or whatever. The smaller part of matter is information. So this is something that needs to be shifted in our mind, because from this point on, we can understand how everything works. Because, for instance, um, before this cell phone was a cell phone, this was information. It was a project. We were all projects before being matter, before being what we are. So, from information as being the source of everything, we have the higher consciousness. From our understand, we have the higher consciousness, and then we have information, and then we have the individual consciousness, and then we have energy, and then we have matter. So, Malu, information and matter is the same thing? Yes, it's the same thing in a different state. It's like water, ice, or I forgot the name in English.
Vapor.
Vapor,
Yeah.
yes, or vapor. It's the same thing, but in different states. From when we understand this, we start to pay attention to everything that there is. Because if I'm made of information, when I was created with my mom's egg and my dad's sperm, I received information from both of them. All the genetic code, all the information we knew this before for a long time. We get in genetic code from both of them, and then we have ourselves. So, but for those who understand that we reincarnate, that this is only a body, and that we are really spirits and not this body, and then we leave this body here, and then we go on to another realm, and then we come back and we get into another body, and so on. We are accumulating information for millenniums, for thousands and thousands of years. So for those who understand that we are created in the moment of conception, let me go from there. From this point on, we start to accumulate information. the information we have in the uh, inside our mothers, the information we gather when we are born, all that information that we accumulate from 0 to 7 years old when we are in theta state. Dr. Lipton talks about this a lot. We are programmed from 0 to 7, and then we keep rolling this program for the rest of our lives. So we are constantly receiving information. Food is information, thoughts are information, words are information. Whatever we see, it's information. Whatever we hear, it's information. And then our lives start to unfold in a way that it's nothing but the unfoldedness, if there is such a word, of all this information. And then I don't understand why my relationships are always the same. And that if I keep changing partners, I will be only changing bodies, but I get people with the same information, because I bring something inside of me that resonates with this kind of person, that no matter what I do, I will be attracting this kind of person forever. And people don't understand why they are vibrating on scarcity, and they are not able to reach the abundance that we have in the universe. But that's because they have information of scarcity, and they lived with that information for so long. Now, whatever you believe in, if it comes from your parents, if it comes and if it comes from all your past lives, so that's what we understand. And a very, very simple and humble man here in Brazil, he understood that if we talk to our souls, we can change this information. But he didn't believe with all this clarity. He didn't understand this with all this clarity. He understood that if we talk to our souls, we can heal ourselves. And then he would recommend us to talk to your soul. If you're sad, you tell your soul, my dear soul, all the sadness that I felt are over. So this man called Sérgio Secato, he's not here among us in his body life anymore. He transitioned last December. He was healed with a very deep suicidal depression by this man that was, he wasn't a doctor. I don't know if he went to the university. He was a very simple and humble man that taught Sérgio how to use these affirmations. And then Sérgio started to research, and he understood that we were dealing with quantum physics and with the information that we all receive, because every time we use the word soul, everything that came after the word soul, it would go to this incredible place, maybe in the Akashic records. He wouldn't say in this using these words specifically, but I say that maybe we reach the Akashic records and we go exactly where this information is stored, and we retrieve it from there. And that way we retrieve it from our consciousness. Sérgio worked and researched and studied for, I think it was about 10 or 12 years. I was his student. I was I learned the technique that he named informational quantum homeostasis. I learned it from him, and a couple of years later, I started to using these affirmations with meditation and with some other stuff that I believe it is good to match with it. But the main idea about informational healing is that your life, your career, your body, your health, and everything that there is in your life, it is the way it is because of all the informations you've been gathering and consuming and eating and listening and hearing and thinking and whatever. It is amazing, Bella, because when we need to change our matter, when we need to change our body, if we go and act in our body, for example, those surgeries where people cut their stomach in half or something, you know, so the person wants to lose weight. If the person goes into surgery and cuts half of their stomach and then goes back to life again, I've seen it, and I want to know if you all have seen that. In a couple of years, this person is going to gain weight again, or it's going to shift their addiction. Why? Listen to this. We found out that all the addictions are based on an information of scarcity. There is a better word in Portuguese, carência. What is the word for that?
Lacking, right? Like feeling like you're not enough.
Lacking of love, lacking of, and it's carência. It's lacking in a very specific way. All the addictions that there is are based in the lacking of love. Mm-hmm. Lacking of attention, lacking of material stuff. It depends on the lack of it, it depending of what was lacking your whole life, you're gonna show up with an addiction in a different type.
Right. So if you were lacking like food for, you know, you were in a wartime zone or something like that, then you might be, you know, overeating or something like that, right?
Yeah. If you're for example, if you're lacking material stuff, and you wanted to buy a shoe and you didn't have any money to buy a shoe, and it looks too simple. It looks too simple, and we even doubt it. But in my professional therapeutic life, I could check this. So
how does it exactly work? Let's say, you know, I come to you or whatever, if we want to use this in our life, like, first of all, how do we have to figure out which information is there that's kind of hindering us and keeping us back, or does it not really even matter? Where does it start? You know, I mean,
that's a good question, because I always say that when people comes to a session, they come with a specific complaint, right? They want to solve something specific.
Anything from being sick to not having enough money,
from cancer to I'm not happy with my boss. He's an ass or something, you know.
Okay.
Anything. So a person comes and we start talking. The session is a 2-hour session. So we talk for 1 hour. And if the person tells me, for example, I have um, um, a thyroid
Mm, sure.
disease, cancer, or whatever. So I am going to look for information about the essence of this person, because we traced that any thyroid disease is connected to um, negative information related to the person and their essence, and how they live their lives, and how they connect with whatever they need to do, whatever they're here to do. So, and then in this 1 hour, I'm going to be speaking, talking to this person, and guiding her to give me information about her relationship with her essence, and how she deals with this part of her life. Of course, I have a privilege now, because I sometimes receive the information through my mediumship, so I can easily guide a person to find whatever she needs to find. Because, you know, not always we have all this information clear in our
Yeah.
minds.
I think for most people, the difficulty starts there, right? Like they might be waiting actually too long until something negative happens in their life, or something, you know, with the body, until they realize that something is not working, right?
Yes.
I guess like if people were able to decipher this, you know, which information is not good for us and which before, then they wouldn't have to get to that point, right? So
well, you know, if I am, you know, I'm waiting for the day where we're gonna teach kids how to do that, and they won't grow with all this junk, this information that we end up you know, accumulating. So this, for the second hour of the session, we spend 1 full hour more or less doing the affirmations.
and how do the affirmations work? So it's related, you said that it includes the word soul or something like that, and it's
okay,
kind of like
okay.
reprogramming, or how does it work? Just
no, not reprogramming it. We are doing a we are clearing, we are transforming information, we are transforming those feelings, negative feelings, in neutral feelings, not in good feelings, in neutral feelings. So if I have a lot of anger, I am going to transform that anger to a neutral feeling. So one day I had a teenager for a session. His mother was the complaint was that he wouldn't sleep. He would have like 3 hours of sleep each night, because he was very anxious and very hyper and whatever. And as he walked, he was a teenager, right? As he walked in, he told me, you know, why, what do you think you're gonna do with me? I won't let you erase all my experiences, because I am made of those experiences.
wow.
And I thought that was so clever. It was so bright of him to tell me that. And now I always make sure that I clear this information. We are not erasing or clearing experiences. We are clearing and erasing the feelings, the negative feelings that are still pulsing, that are still coming up every now and then, that are still making noise, that are still driving us to act, speak, think, and most of it attract whatever we do in our lives. So for the second hour, we are doing these affirmations, and this is a self-healing technique. And I like to tell all my clients, and I got some really frustrated people with me that wanted to be cuddled, that, you know, we have to work ourselves. So when I teach a workshop, a course, I want to empower people to do the job, because answering your previous question, how do we go about clearing and finding the information? You know, Bella, it gets to a point where you start clearing up everything, and everything start going to places.
Yeah, I'm going through that process right now. You know, it's funny because it's almost like, it's like an onion, right? You start peeling one layer and you think, oh, I'm good, I'm more connected to myself, and then you peel another layer, and you know, no question.
And one day you wake up and you feel like, and you go, I am doing the work. What's going on? Well, it's information coming up.
It's continuous, right? It's a continuous process, and we constantly have to see what's aligned, what's not aligned with us. And you know, it's really hard because we do grow up so bombarded with information. If we are composed of information, as you say, then we have to be really careful about where we get the information, what we accept into our life, especially nowadays, right? That it's all like media.
Exactly.
So negative. It's all we see is just negative. And so if we accept that, then that's what we project, right?
Yes, and we have to be very careful. For those of us who are parents, we have to be very careful with what we say to our kids. We have to be very careful with what we say to ourselves. When we look at the mirror in the morning and you don't greet yourself with the best of what you have, you are creating more problem. You are attracting more of the same, more disease, more unbalance, and more sadness or whatever. So
last week you had the really amazing challenge, I think on Instagram, right, where you said, let's spend a week not complaining. And you know, I tried for one day, and I have to say it's like the hardest thing ever. but because all we do is complain these days, right? We complain about ourselves, we complain about the world, we complain about our loved ones. I guess my question for you, and I have a question here from my mom who is watching us actually, which is,
hi Bella's mom.
Is there anything we can study on, you know, on our own?
I knew she was your mom, Bella. I knew she was your mom.
Oh, you knew it?
I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I know why. You have those incredible skills. Yeah. But how do we, is there anything that we can already start learning or practicing? Something small. Obviously, you have workshops and you have, you know, sessions for individuals.
Yes, but
what do you think practical that we can start doing?
So grab a pen and paper. Everybody grab a pen and paper. I would love to see everyone that is here.
Yeah, if everyone feels comfortable with...
if you feel comfortable showing your face, I would love to see you.
Grab it doesn't have to be pretty.
No, it doesn't have. You know, we're just... So, okay. Hi. Thank you for showing up. Hi, you look incredible. Grab a pen and paper, and I'm gonna
grab my gap. Just a minute.
Okay. Do you think I can share my screen here, right? I can't hear you, Bella.
You can do it now, I think. I made you a co-host.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, great.
Thank you.
Okay. So grab a pen and paper, and I want you to think about something that happened in your life that was something very, very specific, something that generated a trauma. We understand that trauma is anything that generated any negative information. So for instance, you were rollerblading when you were 6 and you fell down and you scratched your knees and people were laughing at you, okay? I want you to pick something really, really specific so you can understand how it works. Let me explain you why specific. Because if you try to do this with a fight or an argument you had with your partner, maybe you won't feel the clearance now, because this is entangled with many other fights and arguments, okay? Are we clear? So pick something very, very specific. Like the day I was looking for my doll and it was in the toilet because my brother put in the toilet, or whatever. Or whatever you find that it's something detached from all the drama in our life, okay? And I want to write it down. Let me see if I have another, my glasses. Let me see if, okay. Here, is everybody seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is something I give only in the workshop, but I'm giving it to you so you can try it, okay? How to clean up your traumas. Write down one negative event of your life and every negative feeling related to it. So here, John pulled down my pants in 2nd grade. I felt embarrassment, I felt angry, I felt sadness, I felt humiliated. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, think about something and write down. The event has to be a brief but very specific description of the event. Brief enough and specific enough so your mind knows what you're talking about. And then you write down whatever you felt when that happened. I'm going to turn on the lights here because it's getting dark. And whenever you're ready, you just tell me, okay?
Should be something that happened in our childhood or adolescence?
No.
Can be, last week, anything.
Yes, it can be something that happened yesterday or today. I just ask you to do something really, do you understand, really detached from everything else, something unique, something that happened once. So you can feel, but something that it's still bothering you, okay? Because I want you to feel how this works. If it's something that you don't care, you're not gonna feel the effect. It's something that when you think about, you get sad, you get all those feelings again.
And has to be something unusual. It's not like my mother left me waiting at the school. No, because
because she probably did more than once. And if she didn't do more than once, and if you didn't have any other questions with her, because this is something that happens. I'm gonna explain this. Whenever I get somebody that we are working like relationships and they were having arguments with their husbands, and this person tells me about 10 different arguments, when we start clearing up the first argument, the second one, the third one, when we get to the 7th one, the person tells me, well, I'm not feeling anything anymore. I cannot feel angry anymore about it. Because, this is accumulating information from all other arguments. You understand?
Okay.
Are you going to want someone to share, or do we just write it down?
No, just write it down.
Okay.
And you won't need to share it, so you can be as as secretive as you want. We don't need to share anything. I just want you to let me know when you're done doing that so I can explain how to clean.
Maybe
Should we describe where we were, or just what happened?
The description must be exactly enough so you can remember what it was, okay? If you, for example, John pulled down my pants in 2nd grade, this happened once. I don't need to be specific about anything because I know exactly when that happened. If you're gonna clean up a car crash and you had only one, you just need to say the car crash, you know?
Can it be more than one situation?
Let's do one, and then you can do as many as you want. You can spend the whole day doing that then, but let's do first one so I can show you how it works, okay? So you have to write down all the feelings you had when that happened. I felt sad, I felt angry, I felt like I wanted to punch the person in the face. I felt like I wanted to die. I felt like I was embarrassed, I was shamed or whatever. Just be very specific with the feelings. Because remember, we are dealing with information. It's like we are dealing with data, okay? We need to be specific. We cannot just our minds will recognize as data. So as specific as you are, it's gonna be easier to work with it.
Malu,
yes.
When you start talking, came to my mind an image that happened during my early adolescence.
Uh-huh.
And I know exactly how I felt.
Uh-huh.
And why I felt that, but I don't remember who and what was said.
That's okay. You just describe well enough for you to understand that that's what you're talking about. Describe the picture that came to your mind. Okay? If you close your eyes.
Yes, I can see myself in there.
And you feel it, and it's a strong negative feeling, it's great. We're gonna clear that out now, okay? And let me tell you, are you Brazilian?
Yes.
Okay, just do it in Portuguese.
Oh, yes,
okay?
Sure.
You have to do in the language that happened. Yes. It's better that way, okay? Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody ready? Okay.
Yes.
So now what you're gonna do, you are going to fill in the blanks, my dear soul, and you're gonna put the feeling that I felt when, and you're gonna describe the event, it's over. And you're gonna say it in your mind. You can close the microphone and you can say out loud, but you don't need to say out loud, you can say on your mind. So for instance, here, wait. Oh, here, we're gonna say, my dear soul, embarrassment that I felt when John put down my pants in 2nd grade, it's over. My dear soul, anger that I felt when John pulled down my pants in 2nd grade is over, okay? This is and when you finish, when you're done with all the feelings you wrote down, you're gonna say, my dear spirit, all the negative information that I've received when John pulled out my pants in 2nd grade, it's over, okay? You can close your eyes and you can say the affirmations. You can read it out loud or in your mind. I'm gonna shut up so you can do it.
It's important to actually pronounce the words, right?
In your mind, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Malu,
Yes.
in Portuguese, you speak Portuguese, right?
Yes, yes.
A palavra acabou ou esta situação
Acabou.
não existe mais.
Não,
Acabou.
pode falar acabou. Fala minha querida alma, raivas que eu senti quando não sei o que aconteceu, acabou. Ou acabaram, pode até falar no plural, tá? Acabaram.
Ok.
Okay, when you finish saying the affirmations, you're gonna close your eyes and you're gonna think about the event again. Now, you are not supposed to feel anything anymore. If you feel anything still, it is a feeling that you didn't name correctly. And then ask yourself, what is this feeling? Oh, it's pain. And then you do one affirmation to clear up pain.
Can you repeat the instructions, please?
Which instruction?
My connection was bad. You said,
oh, okay,
close your
okay.
eyes and
when you finish with affirmations, you close your eyes, you think about the event again, and ask yourself, what am I feeling? You're not supposed to be feeling anything negative anymore. If there were positive things on this event, you're gonna feel the positive things. But if you feel anything negative, it is something that you didn't name correctly. For instance, oh, it's pain, I'm feeling pain. And then you're gonna say, my dear soul, pain that I felt when such and such happened, it's over. And then you revisit again and you think about it, and you're gonna notice when it's all cleared out.
okay, thanks.
Malu, so we have a question. The feeling is cleared, but not the information about that event. That's what we want, right? We can't erase the actual, we're not after erasing the actual information, right?
No, it's not Back to the Future kind of stuff. we're not gonna go there. It's not.
So what's the benefit? What's the benefit? I mean, it could be obvious, but like for people who are doing it for the first time, what's the benefit of not feeling whatever you were feeling before related to that event?
Well, Bella, this is a great question, because there is, I don't know if have you read A Man's Searching for Meaning?
I've heard about it, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay, so Viktor Frankl says that there's nothing in our lives that happened that we cannot attribute anything good about it. So the experience of the events, it's something really personal. It's something I can go through I can go through a person. I know people who goes through a cancer and takes nothing but positive experiences from that. And I know people who goes through a possible cancer diagnose, and they go to hell and they stay there for years and years and years. So this is the beauty of cleaning up this information, because I've heard, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard when I ask, okay, so tell me how you're feeling, and the person goes, you know, Malu, it happened, it made me stronger, and I'm glad for it. And 45 minutes later, before that, this person was telling me this event and crying their eyeballs out and suffering and in pain. And, you know, this is something that keeps coming back over and over. These traumas, this unsolved.
Because our brain doesn't know the difference, right? If we keep feeling the negative emotions, then it's as if it were happening over and over again.
It's happening over and over again. Okay, so now I want to know, did you feel it? Does anybody want to say anything? Did you feel it? Can you feel the difference?
Well, when I first did the first affirmation, I didn't do them both. I felt like something was being pulling out of my chest, like right in the middle. But I didn't do the two affirmations, just the first one, because I want to do it like taking the time.
Okay, you can do it now. Just do it, whatever you wrote it, just clear it now, and you're gonna feel it like it's gonna, you know, and you're gonna, and with this in your hands, you can change your life. With these two affirmations, you can start to change your life today, and you're gonna feel it. Some people, when we are in session and we stay doing affirmations for almost 1 hour, sometimes people tell me that they feel lightheaded, they feel something different going on in an informational aspect of their body, while they feel in the body, because we are made of information. But that's interesting. You said you did one affirmation and you already felt like something was pulled out.
Yes, definitely.
Great.
Thank you.
We have two other comments that said that they felt it. So
okay,
in writing, yeah. But I think it's one of those things that we need to. It's almost like, even if you feel it now, you might not see the benefits that it can bring in the long term, right? Because I think it's the idea is that it will open up a lot of space for the other things that this negative emotion was taking up, right? From what I'm understanding, Malu.
Well, the effects of the clearing, I cannot get out of this sharing thing. Can you take me out of here, Bella?
No, you have to take it out. It's at the top of the screen. It says
I know, but my cursor is not showing. I don't know what happened.
I don't think I can do that.
Malu, do we have to say the both affirmations, one for the soul and the other for the spirit?
No, you just say for the soul, you say for all the feelings you wrote down, you say one affirmation for each feeling, and then you say just one affirmation for the spirit to clear out the negative information that the event gave it to you.
Okay.
Not exactly the feelings. Okay, I cannot.
Unfortunately, I can't stop the presentation from sharing, but
Okay, that's okay.
We have some more people that I feel much better.
If you can read the comments, because I cannot.
One says it was great. Another said I felt it, and another said I feel much better regarding the event. Thanks for sharing the exercise. Thank you so much. And
great.
Yeah. And
great.
Also some people feel like they want to try it alone, which, you know.
Yeah, that's great too. The thing is, remember when you're doing alone, that whenever you do it and you wrote all the feelings and you did all the affirmations, go back, think about it, and if you feel anything that it's not good, you just ask yourself, which feeling is this one? And then it's something different from what you wrote down. And then you write down and you do the affirmation again for this feeling. I asked you to do one event that it's very different, a singular, a very unique event, because when we are clearing out events that happens in our day-to-day life, for, you know, part of a illness or part of a relationship problem, you have to ask sometimes also, how did I feel after? How did I feel before? And it's a job. It's a full-time job when you start doing that. But let me tell you, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think one of the things it's one of the things that we are starting to realize as you know, as societies, as individuals, like how much you know, information that we receive is influencing us. But it is such a big responsibility if you accept it, right, that it does influence us and actually composes our whole being, right, from what you're saying. And then you really have nothing to complain about anymore, right? Because then it's all up to you what thoughts you allow in and out. So
yes, and
you can't really complain.
Exactly, Bella. And one idea that I always tell people, and that people sometimes they get really mad, they don't like to hear that, is that we create our life and our reality. Whatever happens in your life, it's your responsibility. It's a sickness, it's an accident, it's whatever happens to you, you created. No one else did. Oh, Malu, it's I heard once, it's very cruel from you to say that, because I didn't create this cancer that I had. And I just can say, yes, you did. Not that you wished. Sometimes people do wish to create such things like that, but not that you wished, not that was conscient, that you were aware you were creating that. But whatever happens in your life creates your reality. And it doesn't create tomorrow, it creates today, because there's no such thing as tomorrow. So when we wake up, we have to be open and aware and prepared to have the best day ever, to feel, to live without pain, to live in the present, not suffering about what happened yesterday, not suffering about what's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to have to be, we have to be aware. We have to be fully aware. And sometimes, you know, I'm going to confess something here. You know, when you're having an argument with your partner and you go like, I want to feel anger. I want to feel anger because now he's going to have to understand that I'm very angry, and that, you know, does anybody relate? Have you felt like that? You're in an argument and you want to be angry and you want to show that you're very angry, well, sometimes I allow not sometimes, I always allow myself to feel whatever I feel, because this is something that I want to tell you. Things happened. Things happens. You're not gonna stop suffering from, stop the suffering of the world. You're not gonna stop pain. You're not gonna stop bad things from happening. You are only able now to have full control of how you feel and how you relate to everything that happens to you. So even if you are in the middle of an argument and you want to really feel anger because you want to show that you're angry or whatever, when you walk out of that argument, you have the choice to clear out that information, to clear out that anger, to clear out all the negative information that you've received, that you generated, that you accessed. And then 10 minutes later, walk to the person and talk like nothing had ever happened. So, but this is a choice. This is a life choice. It's a life choice to feel good and to have a beautiful life, even though this is not paradise, right? I'm sorry, I go
far from it, but but you know, it's funny what you just said. My 5-year-old, like she constantly like gives out this really philosophies for life, and last week she told me, in the morning we woke up and we were in bed, and she was like, what if all of life was just today, right? Because tomorrow is when we die. And I was like, wow.
Really?
Well, let me tell you, she's connected.
Okay. And
she is surely connected.
Yeah, for sure. But
it is like that.
It is like that, right? Because then, you know, you start thinking about this, because what, you know, if we're worried about tomorrow, we're worried about something else, then technically it's almost like whatever happens tomorrow, we'll worry about it when it comes tomorrow, right? If we're worrying about now and then worrying about later, and then it's something that keeps accumulating. We keep creating negative emotions about it, and maybe it won't be as bad as we think, or maybe we can learn something from it, right? And so the present moment is something we really, a word in Portuguese, desprezar, right? We don't value as much as we should, and that's something that is really powerful.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so, Malu, since we're I think it's, I can't see the time here, but I think we're close to 6 or even past 6, but past 6, yeah. And would you share with us, you have a workshop coming up in where you delve into these, right? Kind of the same type of things, or what else is in the workshop?
Well, we're gonna go deeper in the affirmations and how to use them, and how I'm gonna talk a little bit where to find information. For instance, if you have high blood pressure, you need to look for information of events that you felt really pressured and really felt like there wasn't a way out of that. So we're going to talk about things like that to help people find their information. And I give all the affirmations, and like this one that I'm sharing here. If you wake up one day and you feel sad, you can use this information, like this affirmation, like a mantra. My dear soul, sadness that I felt is over. My dear soul, sadness that I felt is over. And as little, you're gonna ease up that feeling of sadness. So we're gonna talk, I put together this 3-hour workshop. It used to be a 12-hour course, and I squeezed in to have a workshop where I talk. I used to give only this 12-hour course. Now I have this workshop that I squeezed in everything. I don't talk too much how it works and all the quantum physics, the informational physics. I don't talk about that. I do in the course, but in the workshop, I talk about the affirmations, how you do to identify where to find information, how you should work with it. We do a lot of these exercises that we did today. We do like 4, 5, 6 of it so people can ask questions and try to really understand how it works, so I can empower you to use the affirmations and to start a process of self-healing, that it's the most wonderful thing that one can have. It's to be empowered of their healing and that the only ones that can heal ourselves are us, no matter what.
Thank
So,
you so much,
the
Malu.
workshop,
Yeah.
the workshop, it's going to be Saturday, November the 7th. Is that right?
Yeah. And I will
Saturday.
I will share this information and the flyer if you guys are interested, and on both on my website and on our groups and pages.
Okay.
So if any of you are not part of it, please join those. And I'll also share the recording of this video, as well as your contact information, Malu, with if you don't mind, of course.
No, I don't mind. Oh,
yeah.
I got it. No, I don't mind. It's great. Please share it. I will love to see you guys here. Follow me on Instagram.
Quick question here, actually, from I didn't notice the question. Can your workshop help get rid of phobias? One of the questions that was before, I didn't see, sorry.
Well, yes, I can help you to find. Well, you know, sometimes the phobia, it's so specific. I had a teenager once, and it wasn't a teenager, it was a kid actually. He was like 11 years old, and he couldn't sleep, and he would cry, and he would get really scared, and he would go to his parents' bed, and he was 11. It was a nightmare. So we found the information. We found the event that made him lost his capacity of sleeping. It was a terror movie he saw with his friends. We cleared out the information, and next day he was sleeping by himself. I want to tell you something. I don't do anything. You do it. You have to do it. I do not heal anyone. You have to do it. The work is on your hands. If you come to a 2-hour session, I am sure I will help you more, because I'm gonna grab you by the shirt and say, come here and let's clear that out. But and then you can see the results a little faster. But you don't need to have a session if you do the work by yourself, but only if you do the work. You can get rid out of phobias or of whatever it's pounding on your head for years and years and years. You can do it, and it's never too late. I had a person one day, she was 81, and she had to get out of her high blood pressure medicine. She had an event, she almost fainted because her blood pressure was normal again, and she was still taking the medicine. So the doctor ended up taking out the medicine because she solved something that happened when she became widowed when she was 51 or something, and she was like 82. So if we want, we can change it, and this is amazing.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
Yes. How do we deal with the guilt that comes with the realization that we create everything in our lives?
Clear that information. My dear soul, guilt that I felt for creating this mess in my life, it's over. My dear soul, guilt that I felt for whatever, it's over. Guilt is the worst feeling that we have. It's waste. It doesn't takes us anywhere. Not even to reflect on things, because usually we are wrong about the guilt. But using the affirmations, you can easy. And when I started using the affirmations, and one day I will tell you how I became a therapist. I had to dive into my questions and my problems. I was studying to become a judge, and it was really painful for me to say out loud that I wanted to be a judge because I wanted power, and because I wanted to be recognized, and because I wanted to feel good about being someone important. But once I did, I was doing affirmations and clearing out stuff for a good year. So welcome. This is not a motivational speech. It hurts.
You have because if you think about it, we take all these years to create all the information. So clearing is not going to happen like in one instant.
Yeah. Although sometimes people ask, "Oh, is this fast?" I say, I don't know. I don't know how much bad information you're carrying. You just have to clear that out. Yeah. But it's wonderful, because from a day to another, you start to feel different, and you start to see the world in a different way. And let me tell you something. Let me give you an advice. If you start this process with the affirmations that I gave you, if you remember something, and now that you put yourself in this condition, now that you want to clear out information, memories are going to start to come up. And as soon as they come up, you write down and you clear it. Don't leave for tomorrow, okay? It's just something that I like to say, because when a memory pops out, maybe it makes you start feeling bad, and you don't even know that it's because of that memory. So if it came out, you just write it down and clear that, and you're gonna be fine.
Okay, you're saying that we should write down. Can we type? Does that make a difference?
Yes, sure. No difference. You can type, and you don't even need to write down. If I'm here now and I get really upset and angry, and it's now, there are people in the waiting room. Did you see, Bella? I can't hear you.
It's kind of late, but
yeah. If it's happening now, and you know everything you're feeling, you just do the affirmations. My dear soul, anger that I feel now, it's over. My dear soul, sadness that I feel now, it's over. My dear soul, anxiety that I feel now, it's over. You just say, if you're fighting with someone, you can say whenever in the middle of the fight, but just don't do it out loud, okay? Because it can be ugly. Just do in your head so you can clear out that information.
And then we have to do the spirit one, the one about the spirit.
Yeah, my dear spirit, all the information that I've received, all the negative information that I've received, now it's over, and you're gonna be fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, Malu, thank you so much. This is really wonderful to have already a tool that we can start practicing. I'm going to start doing it this week. I recommend everyone try it out. And, you know, if you get interested, like I said, join those groups, and I'll share Malu's information so we can, you can continue this work with her in a workshop, or if you want to learn more. And next week, we also have a lot of the workshop that we missed last week. I got a little sick, so we skipped last week's workshop, but we have that one coming up next week for sure. And then Malu will be back with us 3 weeks later in Portuguese. So if you missed something, please join us back.
Yes, and let me ask you, if follow me on Instagram, it's malu.soultalk. We have live meditations on Mondays and Thursdays at 8:08 in the morning. It's in Portuguese for those who speak Portuguese. But I have also meditations using the affirmations in an app called Insight Timer. It's a free meditation app. And there are meditations with the affirmations in English and in Portuguese. Please, if you want to go to the app, do the meditations.
What's the name of the app?
Insight Timer.
Insight Timer? As in
Insight. Insight Timer. Let me type here.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, somebody did already. Insight Timer. Yes, I have, it's a free meditation app. I have meditations in English and in Portuguese with affirmations, and it's a really good experience to meditate with affirmations. Just go there and then leave me a message there, tell me how you felt. And I'm really happy, Bella, really thankful for connecting with your people and your friends, and I'm happy to share this information with you all.
I'm really honored to have you here, as you have some really incredible insights into, I think with every webinar, I feel like we're uncovering more and more, right? With some people are with us every week, and it's almost like layers that we're discovering, and your information really comes at a time when this is really important for us to face the responsibility that we have control over our lives, over the way that we feel, and even our physical health, as you said. So yeah, I'm really excited to start practicing it. Thank you for sharing this wisdom. And I hope that, I don't hope, I will see you in 3 weeks for sure. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Good affirmations, good practice.
Ciao,
love,
obrigada.
love.
Thank you.
Bye.